Hello, welcome to the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast. I'm your host, Sam, and today I'm joined by nearly all of the UK street team. I've got with me Dee, Beth, Maggie, Tara, Gemma, and Verena. Hey guys, is everyone well?
Hello.
Hi.
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 Are we all
We're very
surviving?
good.
Yes.
Just
Just
about.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're all recovering, aren't we?
We
Slowly.
are. It's been a long couple of weeks as we're going to get into on this show today. Do you know, guys, I have to start off by saying this is actually the biggest collection of cowboys that we've ever had on one show at any one time. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first time. So firstly, that is super exciting. And
Yes.
secondly, everyone at home, please bear with us. We'll try our hardest not to descend into chaos with so many of us getting very excited about our subject matter. And I say that because, as you would have seen in the podcast title, today's show is all about our experience at Justin's, the Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Yes, that is right. We have been to all of our shows. He's left Europe and gone home to the States. And I think we've just about recovered enough so that we can now look back and reflect on what an amazing experience we had all round. But, girls, before we get into it, now you know I'm a big Justin fan. Excuse me for a minute. I need to take a second to move aside from Justin and just quickly focus on JC because wow, what an amazing few days we've had in the JC world. Beth, as a fellow JC girl, do you want to explain what has us so excited?
Well, a few days ago we heard all the little rumors starting to come out about could JC's album possibly be dropping, and then we got the confirmation that it is. Playing with Fire will be out on the 25th of October.
Oh,
Brilliant.
JC.
It's big news, isn't it? It's just, I mean, the news broke, right? In the UK, was it just before midnight? I
Yeah, it
think
was, wasn't it? Just
Yeah.
around midnight.
broke in the
Really
UK.
late.
So
to bed.
some of us were in bed, some of us weren't. And it went manic. I mean, social media, you've never seen anything like it, except for maybe when the boys were back, obviously, for last year's VMAs. And it just went manic. There seemed to be such love for him, didn't there?
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he himself posted just blows everything up, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And there wasn't any like this talk about him performing at that show, right? I think that it was a big surprise for everybody. We didn't preempt that.
Yeah.
We didn't preempt that at all. Whereas I think all the other things we kind of knew something was coming, so we were waiting for it. But that just came out of nowhere, and I think that's what surprised the fandom even more.
Yeah, I think so. Like we knew he was in New York,
Yeah.
but we didn't know, what he was doing there. We were all just assuming it was because the VMAs are coming up and, maybe the boys might be there. And then just for the benefit of everyone's at home, so we're talking about the performance. He appeared on stage with Darren Chris, who was a member of Glee, and got brought on to sing It's Gonna Be Me and Bye Bye, a tiny bit of Bye Bye Bye. And yeah, the first we knew, I think, was when Eric, his manager, posted a story showing JC going up to stage.
Yeah.
He said, "What?"
Shout out to Eric Podwell, always giving us the unicorn content.
Yeah, he's good, and he looked good on stage, didn't he? Did you like his performance?
Ah,
Oh, yes. He looked very
Absolutely.
confident, didn't he? He really looked
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
He did well by himself.
Yeah,
I suppose,
it
I mean,
like
he
he
was
had-
with Darren, and, him and Darren are good friends. So I think that helps, make him feel a bit, confident. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it looked great.
Well, that crowd went wild for him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they went insane.
yeah, they
And-
did that.
And the event was a festival for like a musical festival. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 I've never heard of it before, but it seems to be happening in regularly, I think. I think it's a well-known event over there.
Was it called Elsie Fest or
Yeah,
something like that?
that's
I think,
right.
wasn't it? Yeah. But we'll take it any way we can see him, and if it gets him back up on stage
Mhm.
and gets him more comfortable and seeing, like you said, that crowd reaction, Gem, I just thought
Yeah.
it was fantastic. And I think you mentioned social media, and that was the other exciting thing. Like you say, he was posting, and we had a new picture along with the announcements, which was very exciting of him and
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Harry, who has obviously been working on Playing with Fire album with him. And then I think again we had multiple views of our stories, and bigger than anything, he posted on TikTok
Twice.
I know.
twice. Yeah, twice. What?
And didn't he go back on Twitter?
Yeah, he's back.
He's
He
back
went
on
back on
Twitter,
Twitter, and
yeah.
he tweeted an account as well.
Did he? What? He spoke to someone on it. He messaged someone.
Let me find it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't put that in the group chat for some reason.
He responded to someone else's tweet, didn't he?
Yeah, it was reply to this and we'll tell you what you should be for Halloween. And he put, let's see how on brand this is.
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Well, let's see what else we've got coming up from him, because obviously there's, just over, well, a month, was it 6 weeks or so to go until the album's out, 25th of October, like you said, Beth. So I'm
Yeah.
sure there's going to be more promotion to go.
Mhm.
Anyone listening, you can pre-order it now. So don't wait till the 25th. Go and please support him. We've been waiting for this moment for 20 years. So we now need to make sure we show him the love. So you can get it on several places, but latest, I think, it's to put it live as Amazon. So super easy. No excuses. So go and get it.
Yes.
Coolio. Right. Well, there we go. If that wasn't reason enough to be very chuffed, we're now going to turn our attention to Justin. As we said, that's the topic of today's show, and his phenomenal tour that we were all so privileged to go and see. Because there are so many of us, and so much to recap, I have broken down our experience into some key themes. And I'm hoping that's going to help us keep on track with what we're going to discuss, because we have been to many shows. And so to help us navigate our way through, I've got topics. We're going to talk about Andrew Hypes. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Kids. We're going to talk about the people we met. We're going to talk about our special experiences. And of course, we're going to talk about Justin's performance. So if that sounds good, shall we crack on?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, look, let's go in, I guess, chronological order when we think about show day of the concert itself. And we are kind of looking about the actual experience itself. Otherwise, we'd be here all day. And of course, the first thing is the opening act when we went to all the shows, and it was the same across everything. It was Mr. Andrew Hypes, DJ,
We love Andrew.
He got the party started.
friend of the Cowboys. What did you make of Andrew?
Just a great guy.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I think it
Yeah.
makes such a huge difference to have a DJ to an opening act. Like, I mean, to a band, a support band. You can get really lucky with a support band and really enjoy them. But most of the time, in my experience, it's a bit like get on with it, get off stage and bring the main act in. I think the majority of us would feel that. It's just like hurry up, and then it takes another half an hour or 45 minutes before the actual band comes on. And even if you've enjoyed the support act, the mood kind of goes down again after that, and people run off again and buy their drinks and get their hot dogs or whatever. But what I liked about this is that Andrew played for an hour and the place was absolutely heaving.
Yeah.
So and then
then
he comes off and like 5 minutes later, or not even that, Justin's
It's not
on.
even 5 minutes.
Yeah,
No,
it's pretty much straight away.
Yeah. And that makes such a big difference to the atmosphere.
Definitely. I've never seen the arenas so full as well. An hour before, more than an hour before the show. They're not normally that full. Everybody's normally just in the bars, aren't they? And just
It's
hanging
true.
around
People
outside.
come in later, but everybody wanted to hear Andrew because the music was just so good. He really has an understanding of what our specific demographic likes to hear.
Yeah, he played something for everybody, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. And do you know what's really good to see? That even people in the stands, because even though he's based on the B stage, people up in the stands, up high, people at the front, they're still really into it.
Yeah.
And they still get to enjoy it. But also you can walk around, because I wasn't sure if when Hypes is on, could we, who had seats on the floor at the front, go and kind of mingle around B stage. Obviously you can't go into VIP, but around the area you can. We stood there, didn't we, Dee, on one night and just kind of danced
there as well,
around
Sam,
there.
didn't we? We were having a big dance and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so you still feel part of it, even if you're not
Yeah.
directly.
I mean, in
sitting
the European
VIP.
shows, you can't go there. You're stuck.
No, you're stuck.
Oh, because you're standing.
Yeah.
That's true. But then it almost feels more like a party, right? Because you feel like you're in a club
Yes.
in the
I mean,
European
that was,
shows.
you know, because the floors in the European shows are so packed. It's absolutely insane how it goes down when Andrew comes on. Like, people are just bouncing around like crazy. It's really like a club, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like a massive
I
club.
prefer that type of arena where it's all standing. I wouldn't like to be stood for as long as you was to get to the front, but I definitely
I mean,
prefer the
I think
vibe.
for the atmosphere, it does make a difference.
It
Yeah.
does.
You know,
I think even
I love having your seat because you don't have to worry about it and you can just turn up whenever and you can go in and out and everything.
You've got your own little space.
Yeah, exactly. But the atmosphere is different when it's all standing. It really is.
Yeah, I think Andrew's even said it on a couple of lives that he's done over the past few days, especially Leon. He said the atmosphere was insane.
Yeah.
One of his best shows.
Yeah, and they say they're not used to any. They don't have any standing venues, do they, in America?
No, they don't. No.
So
I think,
it's
I mean,
just,
I probably do. Like, you know,
probably, but
I
if they've
suppose if
not
Metallica
played,
performs, they would have all standing. But
yeah, maybe in a stadium or something.
yeah.
Yeah, but arenas, they said some of them, it's like the first time they've ever witnessed it.
Yeah. So, you know, with Andrew on, the place was like a club. It was like a massive club, obviously, but it was amazing. So as soon as Justin came on, it just went straight. It just carried on, you know, the
vibe
there.
doesn't
He didn't
drop,
have to
does it?
work for it at all.
Yeah.
Like, people were out.
And he added a couple more NSYNC songs on for us.
Yeah. It's been it's been on and off though, hasn't it? There are, like, he didn't do Bye 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 all the time, but then what was it, in London he played Here We Go and changed it up a little bit, didn't he? So
yeah, I don't think he's played Here We Go before or after that.
No,
though.
that was
That's
the only time.
show he played Here We Go. We got so excited.
It went down well, I thought. I felt like you heard a cheer.
High up, we're dancing and singing and
yeah. Did he play Holy Grail every time? Did
No,
it always start
I think
with
we
Holy
only got
Grail?
that. I think we only got that in Leon. I don't
No,
think
we
we've
got
had
that in the
before.
UK as well.
I
We
think
got
it was
it-
at Birmingham, because I remember
I
that
think
coming out
so,
'cause I
yeah.
love that song.
Was
Oh,
it?
okay.
It was
I think
definitely in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I don't know about anywhere
And then it
else.
was in Leon, so yeah. That just sets everyone off anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Such a good
so
song.
good, yeah.
Yeah, he did really well. I think.
Yeah, and I love
really
his
enjoyed that.
entrance as well. You know, I just love it with his belt, and you know, it's just so cute.
I enjoyed the last night in Leon when all the Tennessee kids and that brought it out.
That was
yeah,
nice.
that was
So
brilliant.
good.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't see it from where we were stood, but
we could see it on somebody's video.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. It was good.
Yeah, it did. And that kind of takes
Johnny was
nicely.
up on stage, wasn't he?
He what?
Yes,
In
he was
Leon,
filming.
did Johnny go up on that? Yeah, that's where we saw it on his live.
On his live, yeah. Johnny from the spot. We'll come
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah. And now Andrew's got some the Ray-Bans that you can video from. So he's been going.
Yeah.
He's been
Is that
going
how
live.
he's doing it? Oh.
Yeah.
Very clever. Well, I say that brings us nicely actually onto our next topic, which is the Tennessee Kids. And you mentioned just then that they came on stage then. And obviously we have got the musicians and we've got the dancers. So I don't know where you want to start. Should we start with the musicians? And how just phenomenal they were. They are so talented, right?
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
They make it.
Yeah, they're family.
Yeah.
They're family now, those guys, aren't they?
That's it. And they're completely part of the show.
But, you know, a lot of them, he's worked with them for so long. I think Dante is probably the one he's been working with for the longest, but all of them have been with him for so long. I think Leon may be the newest. I don't remember exactly, but all of them have been around for a long time. And I feel like from meeting them all, like, he hasn't just chosen by their artistic talent, but he's chosen by their personalities. The people that surround him are incredible. And, you know, every single member of the Tennessee Kids is just absolutely incredible. They're so kind and so down to earth and so sensitive, you know.
And they're so approachable as well.
Yeah,
even when we seen them in the bar and that, they were like come over, come and say hello, have a drink. And we
Yeah,
were like, okay.
they're so friendly and open, and they're just so level-headed and down to earth, every one of them. So it was really
they're
nice
fantastic.
meeting them
Yeah.
all and hearing
And I
them
think-
all even more.
Yeah, and the singers especially, and Jaden's fitted in really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's amazing.
his voice is incredible, and he's just so lovely.
Hmm.
And he's just so nice. They all
Yeah.
We
were.
love them all. We love them all so
Yeah.
much.
And it
But
was
we
nice.
was
Yeah. It was just, and it was so nice to see them away from the JT set, watching them with the Adam Blackstone
Oh God.
show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just like obviously showcasing their voices and their
Shine by
skills.
themselves,
Yeah.
yeah.
And choosing songs that they wanted to sing and
I mean,
play.
that's one thing I love about Justin's show. He does allow each one of them to shine. They're really not a backing band, are they? They
No,
are.
not at all.
It really is JT and the Tennessee Kids as one band.
Mhm.
It's not.
Yeah.
They're not just there to like play behind him. They really make the show.
Yeah.
They do. No,
I thought-
like even on the B stage, they're there vibing away with everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like during Flame, Beth and I were rapping with Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh," it was in a moment to have, So it's not just
Yeah.
JT, like you say, it is, and the Tennessee Kids. They
Yeah.
are
yeah.
as big a
And I
part
think-
of it as him.
Yeah, and I think the benefit of going to so many shows and having a seat or a standing area that was different. Like on the first night, I was right in front of the musicians, and second night when we was in Manchester, we was on the right on stage, so I was right in front of the singers. So
Mhm.
and then just seeing everybody, and then standing on a different side of the B stage to see everybody perform. It was
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, people keep asking me, why do you go to so many shows? Like, if you've seen it once, why do you need to see it again?
It's
And
just too much.
we were talking about it. It was like it's all the interactions and the different views that you get. Like you were saying, you see it from that angle and that angle, and you get to interact this way
Yeah.
with the musicians or this way with the dancers, and that makes every show so unique.
Yeah, and
and you just-
especially even with Blocky, seeing him up front is completely different to seeing him at B stage, because you get the whole show, because you can see the whole stage, the whole of Blocky. But when you're near the front, you only see what's right in front
Yeah.
of you, and you can't see everything on the stage. But if you're watching it from the back, like the people who were up at the top must have got a cracking view of
Yeah,
the whole
I almost
stage.
want to go again and see it from high up,
Yeah.
just so I can see
Yeah.
Blocky from that view.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm so gutted that I missed Blocky. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I
yes.
seen him.
and you know what? It
Yeah.
was a good while before I realised it wasn't there. Like, because the show was so good without it as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
But then
It's
when
still
you see it,
good.
but then when you see it with it, it's like, oh yeah, well. But even without it, if you went missing
It's-
for a few shows, you wouldn't notice as
It's
much.
still such an incredible show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Blocky is a
Yeah.
great addition, but it doesn't make the show. It's
No.
the
Mm.
show is incredible with or without it. So, but I love
Yeah.
how they make it work with or without.
Yeah.
Don't really know.
Yeah.
The people don't know about Blocky, they wouldn't know that it's a lesser show or anything like that. It's still just as good.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
And
do-
just back to the Tennessee Kids, for those that haven't been to a show yet, I think what's so nice is that we were talking about how approachable they are, and at different parts of the show you can really go, approach them and speak to them. So with Dante, we know that before the shows he's at one of the merch stands selling his t-shirts,
Yeah.
always
Listen,
wants to meet
yeah.
fans.
Walking out.
Yeah, walking up. And then during Andrew's set, a lot of the Tennessee Kids are in and around the VIP stage, and you can go and approach them and talk to them. So if
Yeah.
you get into the arena early, you'll see a lot of them, and they're so happy to talk to us, take
Yeah.
photos, exchange friendship bracelets. I think Dante was saying he must have over 100 friendship bracelets.
Yeah, they would go.
when we-
He said they're all going up his arm if he puts them all on.
Yeah. Because they even
Bless
enjoy
them.
the
They said
show.
when we spoke on, we wanted.
Sorry, go on.
Oh,
Dante.
do we have it? Do you
Yeah,
want to
that's-
just start that bit again in case we lost the?
Sorry, yeah,
Okay.
I was just gonna say, and during Mirrors, when all the Tennessee Kids, because obviously they're finished, they don't play for Mirrors, and then they come around the B stage, and they're just like clapping along, same as us every night, just watching it like in awe, even though they've seen it probably a million times. But they just love supporting, like just right to the very end.
Yeah.
Which I think's nice.
Yeah, I agreed. And then of course there's the dancers as well, who are just so talented.
How they can do that and in that
stamina.
heat. In that heat, it's crazy.
I mean, because the first night we were at B stage, so you really get the experience when they come to the B stage and like stomp in front of you. It's like, oh my God, it's like
fingers.
Right there. You really have to watch your fingers, but oh, it was incredible. They're unbelievable. They're so good, all of them.
Yeah, and they really compliment him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very happy. And their outfits are amazing. You look at the things the girls are wearing, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I love these costumes. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that the girls also do very good job at being bodyguard during play, making their way down the aisles.
Protecting our Justin.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for that.
Yeah. Hands off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're talking about special people, and I think we mentioned Johnny briefly. We obviously got the opportunity to meet him as well, which was, I think, a real special moment for us, right? Because he's so legendary within the NSYNC fandom. And he was so lovely. Did everyone get a chance to meet him?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I missed out so much.
Oh well,
I think we met him every night, didn't we, in the UK tours?
Oh, did you?
I did both nights, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's nice that he comes out and like mingles with the fans and chats to people.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe a lot of people, especially managers, maybe wouldn't do that necessarily.
No, and he does it a few times, doesn't he? He'll come out, have a little wander around, he'll go disappear for a little bit and then come back again. Yeah.
And then it's Johnny on the spot during the day
then he does his
before.
live, so
Johnny on the spot.
you never know if you're in the back of one of his videos.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
in
sometimes
Birmingham,
he's showing people dancing and stuff, embarrassing, isn't he? You're thinking, "Don't let that be me."
Like that guy in France, he took his picture, or he filmed him, didn't he? The guy who was at the B stage in France, he was filming him. The poor guy, he was like, he just
and then he posted it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. During the European shows, we didn't see him at all, because when you're running and trying to get to the front, and obviously you're not gonna spend time around the B stage, because once you've got your spot, you're not going to leave that spot anymore. We did see him, Maggie, though, didn't we? We saw him at the airport on the way back in the morning.
We did. We were just walking. We just passed security. We were trying to find somewhere to eat, weren't we? And I was like, I think that's Johnny. He was looking up at the board, the departure gate board. And she was like, yeah, it is. So we just went and said hello. It was really sweet. And he was telling us where he was going next. And he was like, oh, yeah, I've got another band, Incubus. We were like, yeah.
Of course we know.
It's every day.
Yeah, we were like, oh, of course.
And then we see Mike as well, but Mike was just walking around there.
Mike, the drummer, just his drummer. He was
I said, they must have all been there, but all going separate ways,
Because I think I saw somebody posted from Lyon Airport with Camry. So he must have been somewhere in the airport going back home. Yeah, I think they all were leaving at different times depending on where they were going. But yeah, that was nice just to say a final goodbye to Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
He was a sweetheart. And who else did we see? I think we had quite a few experiences meeting some other special people. I'm thinking we saw AJ.
AJ was there.
AJ and Jess were in Manchester.
Oh, Jess, yes, she was there as well.
Yeah.
And Alex Brooker, who's a British comedian. We saw him in Birmingham and Manchester. Turns out he's a massive JC fan. Yeah. I actually, when we spoke to him, so Beth and I, we went up to him afterwards, didn't we? And we're probably two of the kind of shyest people to like approach people. And we're like, oh no, we can't go say it. And I said to Beth, come on. And she was like, no, I can't. We shouldn't. And I said, no, come on. And it was so out of character. And we did, didn't we? And we went over and said to him, I'm so sorry, but we just need to say to you that we were in VIP with you last night in Birmingham, and your face was an absolute picture. And I think we kind of did a stunned looking face to demonstrate what he looked like. And he sung along, and he obviously posted. Then he showed us when we were talking to him on his phone that he'd posted a video on Instagram of Justin giving him a timber touch.
Yes.
him saying, you know, find someone who looks at you the way that just I look at
Aw.
It's cute.
and that was just so nice to meet him as well and talk to him and see that fan and I think Maggie, you had a celebrity encounter twice in London on both shows.
What with Jedward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
Your
not
new
acknowledge
friends.
Edward.
My new best friend. Oh, they
Mhm.
were so great. I think, yeah, they're both London nights, sitting up near the front. So I had seats near the front. I don't know if somebody told me they were there if I saw them. So I just was like, I'm gonna go say hello. So when I said hello, took photos, but they're huge, huge NSYNC fans. And they were just saying how much they loved NSYNC and loved Justin. And they even told me that they camped out for the what's it called?
Walk of Fame.
Walk of
The
Fame.
Walk
Yeah,
of
I
Fame.
saw them
Yeah.
there. They were
No.
not far behind me. I saw them there. They
Yeah.
did sleep
So
the night out on the pavement.
Oh.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is insane. So it just
Mhm.
shows you how huge fans they are, and they loved
Yeah.
the show, the Justin so much. They
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. We spoke to them at the end as well. While we were walking out, with them. And they just said how much they enjoyed it. So it
They're
was
really
great to meet them.
lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just as
that's really nice.
hyper in real
Yeah.
life as they are
Mhm.
stage. But I loved it. I loved the energy.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
really
they're
fun,
very
aren't they?
cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, it wasn't just celebrities we met. We had some fantastic fan encounters as well. I think the first thing is we met a lot of fans from Instagram. We'd set up specific fan meetups so that we could kind of build a community of fans at each of the venues across Birmingham,
Mhm.
Manchester, and London. And that was great, wasn't it, to like actually
Yeah.
meet people in person.
Yeah,
That
and
was
it's
so
Yeah.
So
lovely.
sweet.
Yeah.
you don't always look at their profile pictures, and then the people come up and they're like, "Hi, Verena," and I'm like, "Okay, I know you." You know, it's like, what's your handle? What's your Instagram handle? And then you know who they are. You know, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was really, really fun.
Everybody should have a little sticker with the Insta
names
handle on
and
it.
yeah,
That's a
mhm.
great idea.
Just so we know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It
they were
was
just so
it was so
kind.
nice. Oh, sorry, Sam, you go.
No, go on.
It was just so nice to be surrounded by like-minded people,
Yeah.
but like a
Yeah.
huge amount of these people, not just our little group, but all these other fans that we never knew existed. It was amazing
And
to
from
feel that love.
and extra ones from the UK as well, who we've not had a chance to catch up with.
Yeah, and I think we all experienced this for the first time in the group because lots of us have been to see Justin before. My McDonald's is arriving. I'm gonna cut this bit out.
That's all right.
A McDelivery.
You didn't see my
Thanks,
announcement.
McDoug.
Doug.
See a hand. The drink.
I'll sort this out before I finish talking. Oh yeah, I think because some of us have been to see Justin before, over the years, but always went on our own or with a friend or a family member or something like this.
Sorry
yeah?
to interrupt you. Careful of your mic because where you're moving, your cable's hitting your mic and it's
Oh, is
echoing.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Start again.
Start again. Yeah, so I think where all of us have, or some of us have seen Justin before, we went with a friend or with a family member or something like that. But this is the first time any of us went with other fans, and I think the experience is really, really different with people that are actual fans, and I think that's what strikes a chord with people with the NSYNC Space Cowboys, because they're finding a community, and I think that's why so many people came forward to meet us, before the shows, and just finally find somebody they can connect with, because lots of these people that we've met said they are the only ones and they don't have friends into it, or that they don't know anybody else. So most of the people that came forward were just so happy to connect to other people who are like-minded. And I think this is like the beginning of here comes more stuff. Thank you. It's the beginning of, this is what we're trying to do anyway, as the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys, to create a community for NSYNC and for Justin. But I think this tour has really proved that it works. People are coming forward more and more, and we're being recognized. Our logo is being recognized, and I think it's, you know, it's just the beginning now of something much bigger. And I think it makes such a difference to experience something like this in a group, or you know, with just like-minded people, even if it's just one or two. But the bigger the group, the more fun it really is, because you've got so many different people to
and it's much
with.
nicer than going with somebody who just knows the 5 main songs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then they
yeah.
suddenly jump up when Cry Me a River comes on, and you're
Yeah.
just like, even though you've told them to learn the whole album.
Yeah. And it's you know, it's all very well. I mean, I go to concerts, you know, if I go and see other bands, if I go and see Take That or whatever, I go with people who like Take That. But with NSYNC, it's always been a bit different. Always Justin has been a bit different. I have always been the only one, really. So I think it makes a difference to experience it with you guys.
It's actually what made the show extra special. And I think it's what made me want to go to more and more and more. I don't think I would have wanted to. I've always said I would never go to a show on my own. I think when we first started buying tickets, I was always like, oh, I can't buy that. I would never get a seat on my own. I would never go to a concert on my own. But actually now, I would so go to an NSYNC or a Justin concert on my own, because I know I wouldn't be on my own.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I feel like there would always be someone there that we've met along the way now that I would connect to and speak to and meet up before. And now people say to me, oh, if you go to a Justin concert again, as in my friends or family, I want to come with you. And in the back of my mind,
No,
I'm like,
no.
I don't want them to come with me. I want to experience it with my NSYNC gang and my Justin gang, because they don't see it like we see it, and they don't feel it like we feel it. And they won't want to run around trying to find Johnny or take pictures with Dante and so
or
on.
go in the venue early. Like
Yeah.
they'll want to turn up at 5 to 9 and just rock up. You'd be like, not happening.
Exactly. They don't want to queue up from 7 in the morning. You know, they don't want to meet other fans. So I don't want them to come with me. I only want to experience it with you guys. Or with, I mean, we met somebody who came from the US, right? They traveled on their own. They said it was cheaper for them to book a bar stool. This was in Birmingham. Book a bar stool, book a hotel and a flight to the UK than to go to a show in their local city or state. And she came on her own, but we made that extra special for her because she got to experience it with other people because of our fan meetups. And yeah, it just added it's like what do they call it? The icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I think you're right. And we experienced that across every show, that we experienced it with each other, with the fans we'd met online beforehand, but even just the crowd and the audience we met in the arenas on the day. The shows, you know, in Manchester, I was on my own during the show, and actually the girl next to me was on our own. So we kind of teamed up, and the people next to us let us move nearer to the stage because they could see we were such big fans. And I mean, Maggie, obviously in London, you and I and Steph kind of had a really good kind of chat with the 2 women behind us who were
I love
such good fun.
Now I talk to Shell. Her name's Shell. Shout out to Shell. She follows me on Instagram now, so we chat all the time. She wanted to come to Lyon with us, but she couldn't make it work. So yeah, I'm sure we'll definitely see her at some more shows.
Yeah, and just everyone. I mean, say everyone. That maybe not 20,000, everyone, but it's felt like the majority of people, like you say, whoever said it earlier, like-minded people. We were surrounded by them, whether we knew them or not, and that was just really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By like-minded, we mean crazy. Basically.
Yeah, obviously.
A little bit obsessed.
Yeah. Okay.
Even in the airport, anyone who I saw with merch, I think in Manchester we went to Greg's, didn't we, to buy breakfast the next morning, and we saw a girl wearing merch, and we were just like, oh yeah, how was the show? You almost feel like you know the people just because they've been at the show. And I'm so happy to talk to other fans now openly, which I probably wouldn't have done before.
Yeah, I agree. Really cool. So then of course there is, you know, the main event itself and Justin's performance, and there's so much here to unpack, from obviously the set list and the songs he sung to his moves and the dance routines, his outfits, the staging. It was just so impressive, wasn't it? And almost quite overwhelming how just phenomenal that this performance was. He's still got it right. He's such a showman.
Oh God, yeah. He's so still got it.
Oh God, yeah.
Who's going to say something about it?
He has.
I think we're
What-
all
what
just
were your-
saying, "Oh God, yeah."
Oh God, that's all that needs to be said. Yeah,
There's nothing else to say.
and that's the end of the podcast. It was great. Go and see it. No, I mean, look, I'll kick off. It was everything I thought it would be. I hate to be really cliche.
And more.
But it was, wasn't it? I think we'd seen so much, many lives and footage and content online, so we kind of knew what to expect, or we did know what to expect. But to see it live, and particularly to have him so close to us on so many occasions, whether it was on B stage or main stage, was just, I don't know, I say overwhelming. It's the only thing I can think to describe it, because you just kind of looked up at him and you thought, wow, like everything was so perfect and spot on and polished, whether it was, I say, his vocals or his dance moves. Shout out to Marty, great choreography. Or whether it was even just even him, like his humor, the way he spoke to the fans, the looks he gave people, the interactions he gave. He was just, from start to finish, the most entertainment that you could have hoped for within 2 hours.
Yeah.
And there was classics. Obviously I love the old school stuff, but for me, hearing the new stuff from the album was, for me, one of my biggest highlights. Particularly Sanctified and Imagination, Selfish. Oh gosh, I could name the whole album, I suppose. But
Going Drown. And I think how he starts the show just completely sets it. I mean, that just like got the hairs on my arm, it was just visually amazing. And then he just appears as he's also looking down on himself. Like I just, that for me, just like, I was just speechless watching that. It was, I loved it. And then everything else, the visuals on the screen are part of the show, aren't they? Like, it's just, it is more than a concert. It's a show. It's a performance, isn't it? It's cinematic. That's kind of, I think, what he was going with, wasn't it? With it, it's amazing.
Yeah, that opening Memphis is,
it's just
that the bass. I said it before, but the bass in that opening, because it's got some like extra bass bits, hasn't it? That isn't in the album. It like vibrates your body.
Yeah, it wakes you up, doesn't it? It's like,
But I love it so much because it literally immerses you straight away. And then, like you said, Gemma, the video, as soon as he stands up from this chair that he's on, and he comes forward and his big face is on the screen, it's just like, it's mesmerizing. That's how I feel. And I think if there's videos of me singing so loud the Memphis rap at the beginning, because I'm just so into it. But yeah, now when I listen to it from the album, I want to hear that bass. I almost visualize that bass sound from the tour. It's amazing.
That moment when he appears on stage, when he comes up, I have to admit, I've seen the show 7 times. I've cried every single time. Like when he appears, every single time without fail. It's just so overwhelming, that moment when he appears on stage, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just in awe of it. That's the only word I can use. I'm in awe of I'm dead.
Yeah. And at every show, he still looks overwhelmed every time he hears the crowd scream. Like genuinely, it's not like he's just doing like as an effect. You can tell that as soon as he gets up and the crowd go wild, he's taken back as well. I love that bit.
I think so. Yeah, I do too. I think he felt the love from that UK crowd, and I think we could see it, didn't we? And it was just electric from from the very moment, like you say, when he appeared on stage and everyone just couldn't believe. Because let's not forget, it's been 6 years, has it, since his last tour. And it's been a long time coming, and everyone's been waiting for that moment, and you could just tell that anticipation is kind of almost what built up, and with hypes as well beforehand, building that crowd up. It just was manic.
Just worked, didn't it?
It did.
The whole thing just worked, and it was just flawless.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. We mentioned earlier when we were talking about the dancers play, and I think that was a particular favorite part of the show. I'm not sure if some of us were near it on some nights, but not others. But I love that interaction that he has with the crowd, and kind of talking to them beforehand, and the dancing up and down in front of them. I just think, even though I actually wasn't near it on any of the nights, I love that part of the show in particular.
I was near it London night 2. I was 2 seats from the end.
Oh wow!
Were you?
So yeah, I was looking through my videos the other night, and I was like, oh, found it. And yeah, I was very close. But I think Camry said hello as he went past. But he didn't look down our row. He was busy on looking up, at the ones on the aisle, on the tiers. Yeah, so he was facing the other way just as he walked past. But I think it's just so good that he just brings all the crowd in and makes everybody feel involved.
Yeah.
And just walking through it. I know you don't get it much on the play side going home, because he literally runs down to get back on the stage.
Can't stop the feeling side.
Yeah.
He's like, because we were on that side, weren't we, Beth? And we was going to be on that side. But he literally flies down that side. So it's like, oh, hello. But the Tennessee kids walked down the way they came up, which I didn't realise, because obviously I was on the side. And as they was coming back to the stage, they were all high-fiving me as they went past, because obviously we'd got to know them, and by night 4 they was probably sick in the face, but but yeah, so got high five off everybody coming back to the main stage while Justin's running down the other side, which was really nice.
Because I was thinking that, because they're all what song is before Can't Stop the Feeling?
It's a slow one, isn't it? No. He sings a slow one. It's the What Goes Around Comes Around.
Oh, it's What Goes Around. Yeah, it is.
Because he does it acoustic, then he does one last little lap, and then he goes off. But then he's been delayed, hasn't he? When he was hugging the kids on the stage one time, that's when me and Beth got stuck and couldn't get back to it. It was in Manchester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And none of us could get back to our seats because everyone was like, the security guards are like, you are not moving, because Justin's not left.
Out.
He did, and then Justin ran off the stage, and all his guards like ran after him, and me and Beth was like, squashed against the side, and then you just seen him, like, because obviously he's got to get back by a certain point, and he ran down that side, didn't he, just to get back on the stage, because he was hugging them cute kids.
That was a lovely moment.
It was,
wasn't it?
When the parents were throwing their kids on stage.
Yeah. So we said we needed to borrow a kid next time.
So those of you that don't know, so there was one little girl that Justin pointed out, didn't he, and asked Rayvon to brought her up on stage for a photo. But then there was a few other kids kind of around the Barstool areas. So as soon as the parents saw that he'd invited one kid onto the stage, they all threw their kids on stage. But obviously Justin being Justin, took the time to take photos with them and give them hugs. So that was really cute.
Yeah.
Even if it did mean he was late for his song.
Yeah, they stopped us from getting back to our seats.
When that little boy, he did his little photo and his pose with him, and Justin went, he was ready to leg it. And the little boy gave him a hug, and Justin turned round and carried on that hug. I just thought that was just a quick hug and carried on and ran. But he didn't. He made, even though it's just that couple of seconds, how much that must have meant to that little boy. And he knew that, being a dad, I think that's made a difference. Like, he knew how much that meant to that little guy. It's like, oh my God, could you be any more amazing?
Yeah. Well, it was nice.
And did you guys, obviously mentioned his dancing earlier, any favourite dance moves that were quite memorable that you were looking forward to seeing every night when we continue to go back to the shows?
I mean, Imagination we were all waiting for that one, weren't we? Because we learnt the dance. And he did notice from Birmingham show, actually, me and Tamara done the dance, and he noticed straight away. So that was really cool.
I like the ones where all the Tennessee kids are joining in, and you've got the band and you've got the singers doing the dancing. I can't think what song.
Let the groove get in.
Yeah.
Let the groove get in.
Love
They all
that.
come forward, don't they?
Yeah.
And then
Brilliant.
the guys on, like, even Kevin on the big trombone.
Yeah.
And Dante with his trumpet and the saxophone.
And I just
they're
think they're
all
just all
grooving.
getting there.
Yeah.
And they're just all getting in there, aren't they? And I just love it when they all come together right at the front.
Yeah, and I feel like the groove, Let the Groove Get In is not a song that you'd maybe initially think of that he'd put on the set list, but I do believe that he's put it on there to involve the band and get them dancing and coming forward on the stage. Exactly, and showcase all of the instruments and so on. So that's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And what about your favorite outfits? Obviously we got a selection of stuff from him over the various shows. What did you prefer? What were you hoping
the one with the longer jacket? Is it Manchester that we got that one?
The trench.
The trench.
The trench.
Yeah.
Did we get that?
It was
Oh,
the
we
trench.
just watched
Yeah,
that many
no,
videos.
we did.
Yeah.
We did. It was in Manchester. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Or London Night One, I wonder as well, because I think Maggie, you and I were with each other because he took it
Oh,
off
yeah.
and we went, "Oh my God, he's taking it off!" And then he put a shorter jacket on instead.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But in Manchester, he did take it off. Manchester,
Yeah.
he got into a t-shirt, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was the only night we had with a t-shirt, and he only kept it off for a little bit. He put a jacket back on when he went to B stage.
Yeah. I think in Birmingham, it was quite cool in Birmingham because I was doing the lives in there, and everyone kept commenting saying, "Have you got aircon in there?" Because like, Justin's not even sweating.
Yeah, Manchester, he was
nothing
sweating.
In Manchester, he
I
was
say he
dripping.
sweated.
But in London, he sweated so much, and we were like, "Why is he not taking the jacket off?"
Yeah, we were like,
"Why?"
Oh.
But yeah.
I mean, they were all great, weren't they? The outfits. We didn't in the UK shows get to see the shorts.
No,
we didn't get the short. We didn't get the pinstripe.
No,
or the sparkly one.
Yeah, we didn't get the Gucci, but no,
one.
there was no sparkly in any of the European shows, so maybe he didn't bring it with him. Maybe he ripped them. Maybe he ripped the pants.
It's all that Ben getting down on the floor.
Oh, actually, that's my favorite dance move.
Yeah.
Real girl get down.
Real girls get down on the
I
floor.
thought that might be.
Oh, I've got a little bit of goss. Well,
Go
a little
on.
bit. Do you know the bra in Manchester?
It was yours.
Yes.
That was yours.
Oh, you might want to cut this. But I went to the pictures last night with my friend and her daughter. And she was saying, "Oh," she said, "do you know the Justin Timberlake that you wouldn't take me to?" Because obviously I wanted to, we was going together. She went, "My friend threw a bra on the stage."
Oh my God.
He picked it up. I was like, "No way."
So you know who it was.
Yeah, so it was like, she
know
said,
who
I was
that
like, "Did
bra
she get a
belongs
video
to."
of it?" And she was like, "No." I said, "Well, there's loads of them on the internet, so go and have a look."
Oh, I love that, because we were all wondering who it was, but that show would always be memorable to him because that's the only show he's had anything thrown on stage,
Yeah.
and he enjoyed it, and he played with it, as in, like, you know, he played along with it and made it part of the show. It was
my
really
friend's
fun.
daughter was going, "I hope it wasn't a dead expensive one," because she says bras are so expensive.
It was a
D,
Primark one.
I have to ask you, was she wearing it beforehand, or was it
Yeah.
one she brought along?
She was.
Just thought.
Just took it off and
Just thought.
Maybe she brought it along specially with the purpose of throwing it.
Well,
No,
yeah,
enough.
I think she had it on. I'll double because I've asked them to check and find out a few more deets, but
Oh,
I was just
love
like
it.
that. Went to watch. I was just watching Beetlejuice, and she was like, "Oh," she said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, my friend done this thing at the Justin Timberlake concert." I was like, "No way!"
That's hilarious. That bra flew over my head because I was at that corner at the front row on that left corner, and all I see is this thing fly over my head. But when I looked back, it it was a group of guys standing there. So I was like, where did that come from? Because
Wow.
yeah, it was
We'll have
so
to invite
funny.
her on the next one. Because I don't even
The-
think she's got Instagram. She's only young,
It's
I think. So I was
the
like,
the Justin effect.
yeah, we'll have to
Gonna have you naked by the end of this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
I love that. I think that's really nicely takes us into our next topic, actually, which is actually special experiences and unique things that happen. So that's definitely one of them, albeit it wasn't us, we promise. But we had quite a few good experiences, and Maggie, you in particular, seem to be notching them up on the list of experiences with regards to your signs and your rap. Tell us about those moments.
Oh my God. So I think I was probably bombarding you guys in the group chat about my signs from the moment I booked my tickets, right? I was like, okay, I need to have some kind of interaction and grab his attention. So I'm going to think of some fun signs, some cheeky signs. And I think my signs were probably the cheekiest, or some of the cheekiest that have been on the tour. And I was very fortunate, and I feel very privileged that he did read two of my signs, one in Birmingham and one in Manchester. And I think he'd obviously been reading signs before that, but I feel like in those two shows there weren't many signs. Whereas in the later shows that I went to, there was a lot of signs. I think once he started doing selfies with the audience, you know, the signs just got more and more, because people obviously knew that he could do a selfie with you if you had a selfie sign, or he was doing birthday wishes, wasn't he? So anyway, my signs were a little bit different. And actually in Birmingham, as soon as he came up, we were on the right front row on the right. And as soon as he came out on stage, the first time he goes over to the right-hand side, I held my sign up and I saw that he kind of saw it, whether he read it fully, but he kind of looked and like done a little wink, like, okay, I see your sign and I'll pick it out. So I kind of anticipated that he was going to come back and read it. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, it said, I can't believe it said, I'm married, but you're looking like gas and I'm looking for mileage. He didn't actually read it out though, did he?
No.
He came over and he was like, oh, what does that say? And he kind of looked at it and was like, oh. And then he was a bit speechless, he was like, okay. And I love the fact that I made him blush a little bit. He was like, all right. But then they put it up on the big screen so everyone could see what he was interacting with. And I know you guys were in VIP.
We lost our minds.
And I love that there's a video of you guys reacting to him reading my sign. Because I think at that stage, it was like our first show, right? So we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what interaction we would get. So I totally understand how you guys felt. I mean, it was crazy. So yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, I was by myself on the other side with no one near me. And I was just like, that's Maggie! And I was just looking at me like, what?
And Tara, you saw it, right, from up high?
Yeah,
took a
did
video.
I record it? I can't really remember
Yeah,
now.
I think
Yeah,
you did.
yeah. Yes, 'cause I was obviously with my cousin, but also getting excited. Like, he's reading Maggie's sign. I don't know if I was on a live, I can't remember. But yeah, it was very exciting when they put it on the big screen as well. Then the rest of the crowd obviously realised, and they all found it funny as well.
Yeah, there's people in the video, they can hear like wolf whistling when they read the
Yeah.
sign. That's quite funny.
It was a very good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that came from, but I think somebody in the US had a sign that says something like, I'm married, or I'm getting married, or something like that. Or I'm getting married next week, but I'm spending my, pre-wedding with you or something. And he read that one. So I was like, okay, I want to do something on those lines, something a bit cheeky. Yeah, and then the London sign. Was it London that he read? Yeah, it was London, wasn't it? Because I was with you, Sam.
One. Yeah.
Where I wrote, real London girls can get down on the floor. Like, which is obviously a play on his Summer Love when he sings Summer Love. And I don't think in every city he doesn't say the city, does he? He doesn't always say like, but I think he done it in Boston. I feel like I've got a video of where he says real Boston girls can get down on the
It
floor.
depends, because you couldn't have said it in Birmingham because too many.
I think he said
We're wrong.
British. Didn't he say British
or
girls?
England,
I know
English.
in
English
Hamburg
girls.
he said German girls.
I did it, yeah.
I think he said British somewhere, but
I
I'm not
think
sure
it was
where.
British. Yeah.
That sounds weird though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he would have
Brit-
said it in an American accent, so it would have sounded cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to be fair, anything he
He could have
says
said
is cool.
he could have said the wrong place. He could have said German to us or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have gone, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Would have taken it.
It's just such a fun bit of the show, and I've always loved that bit.
Yeah.
Like Summer Love in general is just so much fun,
Oh,
and
yeah.
his sexy dance moves are obviously add to that excitement. So yeah, and then what was even great after, so he read the sign, real London girls get down, and then he said, all right, we'll see about that, something like that. What did he say?
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
And didn't he say, oh my pearls?
Oh
or
yeah, he
something?
did. He went, oh my pearls. So which again, I love that we can, make him blush a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then when it came to that part of Summer Love, he pointed over, didn't he, Sam, to our direction and was like,
He did.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he done, and then he done his little dance move. And I actually
Which
done the
has to be a
dance
good
move.
dance move. Yes, you did.
I did.
She did.
Pointed
I can
over and I
confirm.
literally bent down on the floor just like he does.
All the people around
Yeah.
us were probably thinking, like, when you did the sign as well, if they didn't know the show, they would have been like, what is this about?
know.
That's really
Exactly.
like cheeky. And then obviously when it happened, they couldn't believe it, I don't think.
Yeah, and even like the gas and mileage one, because unless you know the new
album,
song, the new album, I mean, it is from No Angel, so obviously that's a single, so there is more people that know that song than others. But yeah, those that got the reference, because I think before the show, a lot of people were asking me like, "Oh, what does your sign say?" And I was holding it up, and they were like, the ones that knew loved it, were like, "Oh my God, that's so fun!" And he said, "Oh,
it's like, I don't get it."
It's very yeah." Others are like, "What do you mean?" Even he said at the end, he goes, "Thank you, though. That was creative."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly left an impression on him because between that and the flame jump twice,
and all the tease interactions as well with it. Well, at least you got all your signs were all done. You got your flame jumps, so you got all your so you got your tick list as well as Tamara getting everything on hers with the selfie photo and finally getting
he
a
made
pic.
sure of that at the end of the show. That was like perfect timing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I love that for
that
T.
was
that
so
she
sweet. Yeah.
finally got her final checklist item.
She was so disappointed, I think, after the second show. After the second show in Lyon, when she didn't, when there was a little girl and she got the little girl, it's like, oh, okay, of course the little girl should get it, but so one more chance, and it worked out. It worked out really well.
Yeah. I did want to try. I was trying for a selfie. No, I was trying to get a T-shirt signed in Lyon, but unfortunately, so I had a T-shirt made, specially a flame jump T-shirt, which I spent about £35 on, and then I made a sign. And what I'd done is I rolled the T-shirt up in the sign. So it's kind of like a tube, and I put elastic bands on it because I was like, it's easy to carry in when we're running to get to the front. Anyway, as soon as we got through security, after queuing for 7 hours, the guy was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's a sign." And he said, "You can't take it. You have to check it in at like the bag check-in." And I was like, "I'm not checking it in. I want to be front." He goes, "No, no, no." And I just threw it on the floor and ran.
New T-shirt as well?
With the T-shirt in it.
Oh, no.
But at the time, you just don't have time to think, because I'm like, I just need to be at the front. Like, we've queued all this time. I'm not losing my place now. So when he said, no, 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 instead of pulling the T-shirt out and just throwing the sign, I just threw the whole thing on the floor.
Oh no.
I mean, you guys, if you have not done this before, you guys don't understand the stress that you go through. It's unbelievable. I mean, we got I did it 3 times in a row, and each time I was there at 7 a.m. No, not I did it twice. Sorry, 7 a.m. And you know, first when the atmosphere is great, and people start arriving after you, and you know, it's a really good atmosphere, and you get to know everybody. And when we did it in Hamburg, you know, us and like the 20 girls around us, we made a pact that we're going to look after each other and make sure the other people don't push past us, that the front row is ours. And it's just a really fun day because you're doing all sorts of stuff, singing songs and laughing and joking and talking about your Justin experience and NSYNC and all that stuff. But the closer it gets to the gates opening, the more stressful it gets, because then you're going to start working out, okay, how is this going to go? Which door do we have to go through? And, you know, and in Hamburg, it was one metal detector, and everybody had to go through this one metal detector. So that was quite easy because it was one by one. And you know that not a lot of people can take you over, you know. And so you make sure you have nothing on you that makes a metal detector beep, because then you get pulled to the side. And there's only bag check if you get pulled to the side, because nobody can you're not allowed to take a bag. So if you get a bag, of course you go to the side, but otherwise you can just literally run through the metal detector and run to the front. So you know, in Hamburg it was okay. It was still stressful though, because you know that there's always going to be idiots who are going to take you over, faster people. But in France, there was how many metal detectors? It was like 12.
6. Oh, was it that many? Yeah,
because I think it was 12. So we were all lining up in the same queue, but then they opened the gate in front of us, and you had to split into these like 10 or 12 metal detectors. So already you've got the same position as people way behind you. And then they open the metal detectors, and then you have to run downhill to the venue to the next gate. And then again, it's like people can overtake you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, again, and people did overtake us, you know, but that was like from these 12 metal detectors, we ran to like, what is it, like 8 doors or something? So we split up all different directions again. And again, we managed to be right in the front because we were faster than everybody else, but people just push past you, and, you know, they're trying to get you out of the way, and they will overtake. And then from then, they open the gates like another hour later or something, the doors, and then they check your ticket, you get a wristband, and then you have to run. You have to run into the venue and around the corner. And then in France, to the Golden Circle, there was another entrance where you had to queue up. It was just an absolute nightmare. And it was the 3 of us, wasn't it? It was the 4 of us. It was Faye, you, me, and Sophie. And because Tamara had VIP, but we were so stressed from like the last couple of hours. I thought Faye was going to pass out. She was ready to cry.
Bless her.
You know, and that last run to the front was just like the worst. You know, it was so stressful, because there's no way you stand there. I mean, we literally, Faye, Sophie, and me, we stood there for 12 hours. There's no way you go through that, fry yourself to death in the sun, sunburn and everything, and then you don't want to be even in the second row. You want that front row, and that front middle spot. You know, you don't even want to be on the side of the stage after what you've been through, after having been first in line. You feel like you really do deserve that front spot, you know.
And that's one of the other reasons that you need to go a couple of times to get your bearings one time, so you know
absolutely
any tips or tricks for the next show.
Yeah,
if it's the same place. Like
V had been there the night before, so she was like, right, she said to me, right, this is what's going to happen. They're going to do this, then you're going to go from here to here. So then we could, like, we had a little game plan, didn't we? We were like,
exactly.
Okay, so we don't all bump into each other. We were like, okay, V's going to that security gate, I'm going to that one, you're going to that one, you're going to that one. And then you get stressed, because I had like a PDF ticket on my phone, then I had a printout ticket. So I'm like, okay, which one potentially
are they gonna
one of them
scan
won't work?
faster?
Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Literally, it's down to seconds, you know, when they scan your ticket. If you've got a guy who's very slow with his scanner, you've ruined already. You know, it's down to all of these different things, how far you'll get. So that, it's just so stressful. Everybody, we were all having palpitations. We're like, oh my God.
It was so funny, because when we were queuing up at the doors, on the other side of the doors, you could see there was like 2 people who had the wristbands, so ready to wristband you. And there was 2 people who had scanners who were ready to scan the tickets. So I kind of was like speaking to them, like sign languaging through the window. firstly asking, because then in the arena there was 2 ways to walk into the arena. So I was like, okay, do I go left or do I go right? Which one's quicker? So first I was asking them, okay, do I go left or right? Then I'm asking them, do you want to scan my paper ticket or do you want to scan my phone ticket? Like, it was so many things that you just don't think about, which we didn't have to think about these things in the UK shows at all. Like, it was so relaxed and so much nicer experience.
And it was a good job that you had your merch as well, so you didn't have to worry about buying merch.
Yeah, but there was merch available afterwards. The shops, the stores were open, and it was all there. But saying all that, it was worth every second. And I loved all the UK shows because they were with all you guys, and the shows were amazing, but nothing beats standing up against the barrier at the front of the stage. It's different. It's better. I really think it feels better to be right at the front. It was totally worth those 12 hours in the scorching sunshine and whatever.
I'd have probably got to go in an ambulance 5 minutes before the doors opened.
I mean, honestly, it was so hot. We did think we were going to pass out every now and again.
Yeah, luckily there was a McDonald's. Yeah, there was a McDonald's about a minute away, which had aircon, so we were kind of taken to us, and they were more than happy for us to sit in there on our phones without. I mean, we did buy some food as well, but we could sit in there for 20 minutes, half an hour.
But yeah, that was good. I feel it feels closer to the stage, because even though in the UK you can stand up against the barrier, but I feel the setup here, it was closer. The gap was smaller. You're right there. And yeah, it just, I don't know, the experience just feels different when you're in that, right at the front of the stage in that bit, I think, compared to the seats, because like I said, even with the seats you can stand up against the barrier, but I think the barriers are further away. Maybe the venues are bigger, because maybe there were smaller venues.
Leon was really small. Leon, I think it was like 13,000 capacity or something, so it wasn't huge at all. So next time, girls, you're all coming to Europe to a standing show, and we'll queue up together.
We're gonna run
from
together
7 a.m. We'll just hold hands and run so nobody can pass us.
Well, maybe next year. He's obviously announced that he's got some European shows that he is going to do next year, so he's coming back. And of course and the festivals as well.
One of the reasons, I mean, that's a good thing, we've got so many fans that we know all over the place. I mean, obviously one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Hamburg is because my niece is there, but also because the friends that we have told me that it was the best place to get into the venue, because there is only that one way in. They, the German fans, they were all saying, if you pick one place, it's got to be Hamburg, because that's the easiest to get to the front there. So it's good to have that kind of insight from other people if you are planning to go somewhere else, because other people can help you make your plans. I mean, I would go to Lyon again, but the queuing was really horrific, so I wouldn't, for that I would pick somewhere else if I can.
I'll book VIP instead.
VIP was amazing. I think we, like I say, we went to so many shows. We got a real good selection of views, I think, across the entire group. I think ultimately it's a Justin show, so really there's no bad seat in the house, if we're going to look at it that way. It was fantastic. We are getting towards the end of the show, I'm afraid, girls. Can you believe there's been so much to talk about? But before we do go, I guess I wanted to go round everyone and if you could summarize, I guess, what was your best moment of the tour or the show that you saw? Which means, Maggie, you're up first.
Okay, so I have to pick my flame jump. I mean, I can't not. I mean, I manifested it for 4 months, and it became a reality. So yeah, that was an extremely special moment in Manchester.
Your outfit was just the most amazing thing, and it was so noticeable that he must have seen it and almost double took him. And the effort that you went to was brilliant. And even outside the show, when you arrived, and obviously everyone was going, "Oh, your outfit." Everyone's like, she has to get it.
Oh, bless. Even at the hotel, when I was waiting in the lobby for my taxi, 2 people stopped me and was like, "Excuse me, you going to the Justin concert?" I was like, they're like, "I love your outfit." They had no idea what the flame jump was or why I was dressed as a flame. I kind of had to explain to them. And I was like, "There's a song called Flame." That's why I'm dressed as a flame.
Obviously, duh.
I don't just dress like this normally. But yeah, it was cool. I'm glad I managed to find a flame outfit. Apparently, flames were in fashion about a year ago because Kim Kardashian wore an outfit, which meant I found mine secondhand for, I don't know, £5.
Oh,
Bargain.
brilliant. Yeah,
Bargain.
fantastic moment. Okay, D, you're next.
Mine is Manchester, mainly because we had a brand new venue. It had only just been opened by a few weeks, maybe. I thought the sound system in it was incredible. I loved it. It was just, I don't know, it just felt airy, like you could move around. And me and Beth had really, really good seats, didn't we, together? So,
Yeah.
and because I had quite a few shows by myself, but me and Beth were together on this one, and we obviously got upgraded for VIP as well. So we managed to see it from both angles, and there was loads of room in the VIP area that it was just nice and spacious. And I don't know, I just like the atmosphere in there, that you could just move around with Justin as he walks around B stage. You weren't all crammed in, squished in. I don't know, I just really liked it, and I really liked the sound in there, and you can tell it's a really good
The
music
sound
venue.
was great there,
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole venue was good, wasn't it? Even like the staff, everyone was so nice.
Yeah,
And
they were lovely,
you
and the
know,
after party as well. Don't forget, and then
oh
yeah,
yes,
and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
because normally when you finish a concert, it's everybody piles out and there's queues everywhere, and it takes you ages to get home. But as we left, they had a DJ playing, and they kept all the food venues open, all the bars were open, and they had a DJ on playing all sorts. And luckily for us,
90s.
just it was a 90s throwback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Party. And then just as we were coming out the doors, as it finished, bye bye bye, was it came on?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we just all went mental. And but it was just so good, and then we just stayed there for an hour or so, a couple of hours, didn't we? And just having a dance and a sing and a drink. So I thought it was a really good way of ending the night, and then being able to leave and get a taxi with no problem. It's
Yeah.
I thought it was just a really good place. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was a really good venue. Would definitely go back again. Very good. Nice and spacious. 10 out of 10.
I like my space.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? It's important. It's on the tick list of what you want from a Justin concert. Space. Tara, how about you?
So I needed Birmingham, and my favorite part of it all was the interaction that this group had. My most favorite part, I think, was Tamara's flame jump then as well, with Maggie in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was looking down at the B stage and didn't realise that he was ready to do the jump. And then my cousin was like, it's your friend. She obviously was watching the big screen. So I got my camera out really quick, let's try and record it. But yeah, that was just like, oh my God, because I know Tamara and Maggie have both been waiting to try and get that opportunity. But also I think the screen at that point looked really weird as well. It was a bit glitchy, and it was meant to be glitchy, which I quite liked. It's a bit like it's like newspaper, isn't it? Newspaper font, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Because
yeah,
it goes
something a bit
black and white,
different.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
When
it was
he
black
does the
and
flame
white.
jump, the
Yeah.
flame
Yeah.
run, all the clips I've seen, they're all black and white.
Oh, okay. But it
Yeah,
looked good
it's
anyway.
cool.
It looked good on the big screen with all those effects as well. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it was a
And
good
obviously
show.
meeting all of you guys as well for the first time in
Yes.
person.
Yeah,
Yes.
the best.
And likewise, it was great. And it was our first show, wasn't it? So it was always going to be a special
Yeah.
one. Come on.
Yes,
First
of
show in
course.
the UK. Okay, Gemma, you're up.
There's a mixture of things. I can't pick just one. I think for me the excitement beforehand, when we were skipping literally as we were
Oh, I
we
love that
skipping
video,
as we were
Gemma.
going into VIP, like that, it's here, it's happening, all that build up for all those months. That was like a moment for me, just skipping in with you guys, just so buzzing. And then during in Manchester, during Technicolor, I was just singing along because I love that. And then I look, and the girl stood in front of me was singing, So then we just started singing together, looking at each other.
Oh,
And it turned out to be Morgan, who also got the flame jump. And it was just
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice to have that moment with somebody that I didn't know and then got to know. And then the third thing was just seeing my brother experience it. Like, he knew nothing about what to expect from the tour. He didn't really know anything about Blocky. So I made sure to move us back as Mirrors started. And he's like, no, I want to stay and watch it. And I was like, no, you're going to watch it, but you're going to see it a bit better further back. And just, yeah, seeing all that. So that was, yeah, one of my favorite bits.
nice.
I loved your brother getting the VIP wristband from Johnny. That was the
He was
cutest thing.
so happy. The two
And bless
Johnnies
you,
together.
you were like, I don't need one, Johnny. I don't need one,
I
just for
didn't.
my brother. I know.
I was like,
He
I don't
still
need it.
gave
I
you
just
one.
want it for my brother. That's all I
You were
want.
trying to give it back to him. He gave it to you, and you're like, no, I don't want it. I was like,
But I do
Gemma,
really.
take it. I was like, Gemma, take the fucking wristband. It was so sweet.
Yeah, really good moments. Love it. And Beth, how about you? What was your best moment?
Well, it like on in Birmingham, I really enjoyed it, but I feel like I was really overwhelmed just because it was my first time seeing him ever, and I don't know, I think I was just like a bit stressed and overwhelmed. But then in Manchester, I just felt really comfortable, and like I just felt like obviously we got upgraded, so I had both views. But I don't know, it was just the atmosphere on that night. I felt like it was different.
Yeah.
Like, and the sound, like Dee said, like the sound was amazing in there. And I don't know, it was just really special.
I think on the second night you can kind of take it all in a little bit more, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like it's a little bit less pressure and stress, and you know what's going to happen, and then you can just relax a little bit.
Yeah, and especially when you've got the tickets for both, you know exactly when to move. Whereas before you've got conflicting, some of the security will be like, well, you need to leave by such and such a song, and then somebody else on the other side will go, oh no, you need to be in there by this song. And before you know it, you're getting in for 5 songs before the end of it. And it was just, I don't know, it was just a bit, I think we were just a bit panicky where to move about. But I think with the second show, everything was relaxed, so you know where everything is, you know the timings, you know when to move seats and when to get to B stage, when to get back. It was a bit, I think we was a bit more relaxed, weren't we? Less, well, we're still panicking, but not as much.
Yeah, and when we got into the VIP though, I liked as well in Manchester that when Hypes played Tearing Up My Heart, and we all just, like those of us who were in VIP, we just started doing the Tearing Up My Heart choreography together. And then afterwards, obviously, with the DJ on, the Bye Bye Bye, and we just all started doing the choreography outside. I just thought it were just fun, and I don't know, it was a different experience from what I've had at any other like concert.
Oh, that's because you're
It was
with
just
us.
amazing.
Yeah, we got the
We
whole
were
package.
together, that's why.
Yeah, and then we
We were all
left and got
together.
absolutely soaked.
Oh yeah.
But it was worth it.
But actually, I loved it in Birmingham because a few of you had VIP, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then so you guys all went in, and then the few of us that didn't, we were just kind of went in the normal way. And then me and Dee got an upgrade, and I think someone else got an upgrade. I can't remember.
No, I think there was only me, you, and Tara who didn't have
didn't.
VIP, but Tara's with a cousin up in the stands, so she didn't want them. So there was just us two. It was,
and then when we came in and we're like, girls, we got our
we got them.
We just all started jumping, didn't we?
It was so good that everybody suddenly you guys came running in. It was like, oh my god, it's all of us down
It's like
here.
the whole gang
so
was there
good.
apart from Tara. It's a shame, but we could see you.
Yeah, great. Wow. I think we've absolutely reviewed the hell out of this UK shows. It was just such an amazing experience, and I hope everyone at home can tell from the way we're talking about it that we've got so many fond memories. And I think it's, let's say, from Justin, from the Tennessee Kids, from the people we met, but also, as we said, I think that friendship and that kind of being able to experience it together, however many shows we went to, whether it was 1, 2, 3, or 4, or obviously more within the rest of Europe as well, is something that I think we're never going to forget. And I think when we look back at this, over the years, we'll remember these exact moments so with such detail. So I hope everybody enjoyed hearing all about our experiences. If you are in the US or can get to the US or even back to Europe next year and have the opportunity to go, we totally recommend it. And hopefully we've convinced you enough to go and see it. But yeah, that's all we've got time for, guys. We've got to go. We've
what have we got to
absolutely.
do
We have the
tonight?
VMAs to
The
watch.
VMAs.
Well,
VMA day.
I say we have to go, but we're going to be up for another 6 hours.
Oh God.
Whatever.
Let's
it is.
hope
You
our
guys
next
are. I'm
podcast
gonna
is
go to
talking
bed.
about something that happened at the VMAs.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Oh gosh, please.
We live
please,
in
please,
hope.
please.
We'll have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, are we all gonna schedule one for tomorrow night then?
Yeah.
Just in
We'll do an
case.
emergency podcast.
We could do a live.
Yeah.
No, let's be honest,
You're
we're not going to be
alive,
awake
yeah.
tomorrow night. Let's be
No.
honest, we're going to be
No.
shattered. But yeah, let's see what happens tonight. So enjoy it. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we get on. And I look forward to talking to you all about it. And yeah, whenever we are next back in our next show, we will, I'm sure, update you and talk about whatever happens. Hopefully it's something. That's it. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, all of our individual handles, as you know, or Space Cowboys. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So go and give us a follow, please. And don't forget to subscribe to this very podcast you're listening to, please, and give us a rating. That's it. See you all next time. Thanks.
Bye.
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 Thanks for tuning in to the NSYNC UK Space Cowboys podcast. If you loved this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you'll never miss a moment of the action. And did you know you can also stream every episode the second it drops on your favourite music or podcast platform? It's that easy to stay in sync with us. And while you're at it, check out our Instagram page for all the latest NSYNC news, reaction, and announcements of upcoming episodes. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.